Today's recommended DraftKings DFS lineup is for the 4 p.m. Eastern time games. There are four of them: Cardinals versus 49ers, Rams versus Seahawks, Broncos versus Chiefs, and Browns versus Ravens. I've tried to game script these out. The Cardinals 49ers might be the most difficult because you've got the Niners pretty much almost fully healthy for the first time in a long time. And it's unclear where the distribution of touches is going to come. Christian McCaffrey is the safe bet. Everyone else, it's harder to know how that will all break out. For the Rams and Seahawks, both defenses solid. I think especially on the ground, the Seahawks have always, all season, had a terrific run defense. So that's shaping things. And the question becomes, how much do you trust Matthew Stafford and that Rams passing attack? Obviously, all year, it's been incredible. And the question is Seattle at 7-2, this fierce, NFC West battle, is this the game where the Seahawks really take it to the Rams, shut them down, and get in the driver's seat for the NFC West title? Broncos Chiefs, similar but different. You've got the AFC West title potentially not really on the line, but if the Broncos win, they're running away with it at that point, or at least solidly in the lead at 9-2. And the Chiefs are pretty much just looking to hopefully get a wild card spot for themselves if you're a Chiefs fan. But if the Chiefs win, clearly it becomes a much more interesting battle in the AFC West. It's hard to know. Patrick Surtain is out. It's hard to know how much the Broncos defense can hold the line against the Chiefs. And that's one of the big questions in picking a DFS lineup with that game. Will the Chiefs be not necessarily shut down, but score less than 20 points, which for all intents and purposes, given the price points of all the big Chiefs playmakers, specifically Patrick Mahomes and Rashee Rice, is it even worth it to go big on them? And then finally, Browns Ravens. Browns defense, tough. Offense, not very good. Tight end heavy. Do you go tight end in this case? And with the Ravens, do you trust Lamar Jackson? Do you trust anyone on that team putting up the kind of points needed to pay what you have to pay to get them into your DFS lineup? The lineup that I'm putting together, I've put together about 7, 8, 9, something like that, lineups, and I'm sticking with this one. This one is the one I feel most comfortable with. Jacoby Brissett at quarterback. I had some with Matthew Stafford, wanted to push for him. Couldn't rationalize it because I couldn't make all the other numbers work the way I wanted to. And Brissett is the cheapest, or the second cheapest. Dylan Gabriel is the cheapest quarterback starter in this slate. So I'm going with Brissett. He's been solid for 20 points. He's missing Marvin Harrison Jr. However, I'm not overly concerned, and I'll give you a sneak peek. It's because I have Trey McBride and Michael Wilson in this lineup. Trey McBride is expensive. I don't like going expensive with tight end, but it is hard to imagine McBride getting less than 12 targets in this game. The backfield is a total crapshoot. And like I said, Michael Wilson is kind of the next man up in terms of wide receiver, maybe Greg Dortch, but Wilson is super cheap. And McBride is a little over $6 million, which is pretty expensive, not exorbitant. If he gets 20 points, which last week I think he got 30, it's well worth it. If he gets 20 points, that's great for 60, 6 million, 6.2 million, whatever he costs. You could go very cheap in this. I thought about Tyler Higbee. I had him in one sample lineup. I had David Njoku in another. Even Mark Andrews at 3.5 million, very cheap. But then I had to wonder, is he really TD dependent? I don't want a tight end who's TD dependent when Trey McBride, who can get 20 points, is out there. The other receivers, Puka Nacua, I cannot sit him. Jerry Jeudy, very cheap. I think he's 4.4 million, something like that. And maybe last week was a fluke. But I don't think so. And facing the Ravens, I think that Jeudy will be leaned on again for all his flaws, leading the league in drops. He is still their ticket to competitiveness through the air. And in the flex spot, a very cheap Cooper Kupp. Why Cooper Kupp? I had him in my league. I dropped him. Happy I dropped him. he's facing his former team. I think that there is a decent chance that Cup gets 12 plus points, and for 4.1 million, I think is what he costs. It's very much worth it. The running backs I have are the very expensive Christian McCaffrey and the roughly two-thirds as expensive Quinshon Judkins. You might be wondering, what about RJ Harvey? RJ Harvey's about a million less than Judkins. I had him in a couple of my earlier lineups, went through some iterations involving getting Jackson Smith and Jigba in there, but it would crush the rest of the lineup. Essentially, I'd be downgrading at tight end, and I'd be getting a total dart throw, $3.1 million dart throw or something at the flex spot. It just didn't make sense to me. Judkins, I think, is a more responsible DFS pick than RJ Harvey. And I say that as someone who has Harvey in my regular league, and I'm starting it because I feel like I need to over David Montgomery. But it's not an easy call because I think RV is not yet proven that he can handle a full workload at the NFL level. He could in college, so it shouldn't be a big issue. But how much is Sean Payton going to turn him loose? I think Judkins is much more a ground centerpiece for the Browns. That's clear. He should be good for 18 plus touches if the Browns keep things close, and that all hinges on their defense, which is why I also have the Browns DST. Very cheap, but it rounds out this lineup where I have zero remaining salary. So again, I've got Brissett, McCaffrey, Judkins, Nakua, Judy, Michael Wilson, McBride at tight end, Cooper Kupp at flex, and the Browns at defense. There are, as always, a lot of ways to play this. As you can see, I'm steering clear of the Niners passing attack. I'm steering clear of mixed backfields like in Seattle. There's certain things I'm avoiding because I feel that I'm going with the guys who are number one on their team, with the exception of Cooper Kupp. Everyone else is a featured receiver or running back. And that's the way I'm going to play it. And you could do this with 50-50 or with tournament. And I wish you good luck today, whether you're doing this or in your fantasy league or both. We'll see you tomorrow.